We wanted to analyze traffic patterns at Cybernet because we were the largest ISP. We wanted to look at logs. We wanted to do data intelligence analysis of a lot of those things. And we realized we needed a lot of high performance computing. And then when we started looking at the kind of hardware that was available, so it became so gigantic that we realized, why not turn a cloud out of this? Because if we buy this much hardware, we might need it today, but then 6 months later, we might not need to do this analysis again. So that is what the idea started from, and then slowly and surely we built it into a product that we thought if hamari aisi zarurat hai, that there are probably other universities, companies, researchers out there who might need the same kind of resources to do their computation requirements. So we started realizing that startups or even education, what do they need? The first thing that they're sensitive about is that they don't want cost. Because a lot of this work is experimental. A lot of this work is, things that they want to show a proof of concept of. So we said that they don't need cost. Secondly, they need to have the ability to scale on demand. Because when you're doing research, when you're doing startup work, when you're setting up a new company, the one thing you don't want to think about is how will I scale? Or what if it is a success? What if my work hits off well? Is there a bottleneck? Again, better ability to match your revenues with your expenses. हर बंदे की ख्वाहिश होती है कि यार मैं सिर्फ उतना खर्चा उठाऊं जितना मेरा बिजनेस अभी डिमांड करता है. And there's the same concern for universities like NED, IBS or Syed. They want that the students or the faculty should incur only as much expense as is required for a certain program. Everybody wants mentoring and guidance. They want technical staff, technical people to guide them with their queries. And lastly, most importantly, they want access to specialists. That when we're working on a project or when we're working on some kind of research, we need to have people in that key area who are involved in that product. So we decided a couple of years back to start this program that was called the Start Smart Initiative. And it was a non-commercial endeavor which was aimed purely at getting the academia and the startups on board and to help them grow and to basically do what they wanted to do. So, we thought we'd offered them the speed, the agility, the security, and the access to resources, that they never had. And we realized that this was a huge driver for experimentation. Because from the day we started that program several years ago, we started seeing so many people from all over the country, all parts of the country coming in. There were universities who came to us for high performance computing. There were people who wanted to work on IoT. There were people who wanted to do data science test beds. And they had those ideas, but they were not able to put it into practice because they didn't know how they would do it free of cost or cost effectively. So it was a great motivating factor for us as well when we saw that so many people came and started using the program and starting getting results out of it. And over the years, obviously, we've done more and more and stacked on more and more to it. And so how we help people is very simple. A lot of people come to us with these problems that they want to have test beds made out of, and they want to present it at conferences, they want to present it abroad, they want to present it to investors, and this includes universities and private people, students, kids themselves. So basically what we do is we take complete charge of what they want to do and we do it for them free of cost. So we do the entire migration, we do the papers, we do the analysis, we help them present it to people. Sometimes most of these people don't even have facilities to present it because they have an idea that they want to pitch to certain people. We even create spaces, incubation centers, conference halls, auditoriums, sometimes even in our own office where they can present to a select team of people or experts or academians that this is what we want to do, can you give us guidance on that? Experimentation and innovation, everybody wants to do it, but half of the people in this room will not go forward with their ideas because they will be too afraid of the cost associated with it. And now there are several types of cost. One is the rupee value or a dollar value, that is a cost. But there is also cost in terms of time. That if I want to create a product or if I want to do a research or if I want to do something of that sort, I will have to take a certain amount of time away from my education or from my personal life so that I can dedicate my time to set up the funding, the time, the research. But programs like RapidCompute runs Start Smart, AWS, Amazon, Azure, they run similar programs. What they're geared towards is to allow you to experiment and innovate without the fear of losing either time or money. Because you can, pick up and come back later at some point in time. There's no rush. You can take out time to do this stuff. It's extremely low risk, very, very low risk. And one of the key parts is that a lot of people are one-man shows. They don't have access to quality HR. This doesn't require any technical HR. All you need is yourself and what you want to do. And if you look at the research and you look at even the successes that have happened out of startups and academia, these are often the main reasons people don't innovate. There are tons of people in my office also who have great ideas, but they keep saying that, we'll have to leave this job or we'll have to get a part-time job so that we have some time on our hand and so that we can raise some money and will you invest. But programs like these allow people to, innovate and experiment without actually any cost associated with it. So I just want to flash a few companies who I know personally for the last 7 years, and this is exactly how they started. The most famous here would be probably Kareem for you guys. But if you know Kareem, when it started out of the UAE, this is exactly how it started. It started as a small ride-hailing app, very small ride-hailing app. In fact, I forgot the name. There was a Pakistani ride-hailing app in 2014 that they acquired when they were wanting to open up here. And they were hosted on Amazon. And they started in very localized areas in the UAE just to see what the response would be. And so it was very low cost. I even met the solution architect. It was two people. One was a Pakistani, one was an Indian. And they started really, really small. And when they ran it for about a year at extremely next to zero cost and they realized that this is something that could work, then they slowly and gradually scaled on to there. And as we know, all this history. Same with Uber. If you see the history of Uber, started off with a couple of cities, very small, very low cost, wanted to experiment, and then grew on from there. If you look at Baikia, if you look at Karaj, if you look at Sehat Kahani, it's a huge medical portal out there. All of these people had ideas that they had no idea would work. And the one thing that they needed was to have as little risk as possible. So that they could try, and if it didn't work, they could walk away, with their head held high, with no loss, no harm, no foul. So why do we do all of this? So my point of telling you all of this here in the university is that a lot of you probably here have ideas and that you want to implement. Now these could be very various ideas. You have so many faculties here. It could be some kind of telecom testing. It could be data science. It could be some engineering, high performance computing. But a lot of you will start thinking that, if I want to do this, it's going to cost me. Who's going to fund me? But the reason we set out with RapidCompute in 2011, 2012 was at that time that we wanted to give small companies in Pakistan a good, viable alternative, rather than spending millions of rupees or dollars on their infrastructure. And then slowly and surely in 2015 it went on to Start Smart, which had the same ambition for universities and individual entrepreneurs. So there are a lot of programs like this out there in the market here internationally that encourage students, that encourage people from the faculty to act on their innovative ideas, act on their experimental ideas without fear of failing, without fear of risk, so that they can come back, drop off, come back again, rework it with zero risk. So, but like I said, mine is probably the most non-technical presentation, but I wanted to be here to let all of you know that RapidCompute and CyberNet and similar companies in Pakistan are here to support you if you have any ideas, if you have any kind of innovation you want to do, and any kind of support that you need in terms of resource, access to technical resource, access to experts and engineers. So, we're here to help you, and, we can probably help you achieve whatever ideas or whatever dreams you have.